Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another one of my videos. So over the past couple of years, there has always been this fan base rooting for the introduction of two DC characters into the Arrowverse, the Green Lantern and Batman. Now, even though I've always been a member of the fan clubs of both comic book characters, I've only been a fan of the introduction of the Green Lantern into the Arrowverse, and for good reason. When you think of the Green Arrow as both a comic book character and a live-action one, he's more of a Batman in a green costume, with different yet similar gadgets, and pretty much the same MO. Even the stunts pulled by Oliver on the show, the way he glides from building to building for example, are pretty much inspired by Batman. Now, Batman made his debut in DC Comics in March of 1939, and over those first few years, both him and Superman were DC's biggest superheroes. Over the course of the 2 years that followed, DC Comics added multiple characters to their roster, including J. Garrick's Flash, Captain Marvel, Hourman, Robin, Catwoman, Green Lantern, and Aquaman. And if you take a close look at this list of names, they are all in the realm of superpowers or magically bestowed abilities, except for Robin and Catwoman, who became supporting characters in the Batman comics. In November of 1941, DC Comics introduced Oliver Queen as the Green Arrow, a character who seemed to have a lot in common with both Bruce Wayne and his alter ego. Now, unlike other characters introduced over the course of those few years and since the inception of DC Comics, both Bruce Wayne and Oliver Queen happen to be billionaire businessmen and celebrities within their cities. The two of them as well built womanizing playboy reputations around themselves that they utilized this cover to ensure no one would suspect either of them of being their alter egos. When the character of Oliver Queen first appeared in the comics and over the years he's existed on its pages so far, the influence of the character of Batman was pretty obvious. Batman had his Batcave and the Green Arrow had the Arrow Cave. One of the bigger foes of Oliver back in the day happened to be Bullseye, who was featured as a clown-like character just like the Joker is in the Batman comics. So it is no wonder Arrow seems to have borrowed Batman villains like Ra's and Talia al Ghul. The pages of the Batman comics have been seen occasionally borrowing the character of Malcolm Merlyn, who's one of Oliver's biggest foes, just like he is on the show. His ties to the League made it easy for both the comic book Batman to borrow the villain, and did the same for the CW's Arrow when it came to Ra's and Talia. They pretty much draw from the same pool of villains, considering they share a type. Now, the two of them, that being Batman and the Green Arrow, seem to take the darker approach to things. Over the years, the Green Arrow's costume lost its lighter shade of green to a darker shade, and while it might seem to some that the show's first season killings are something pertinent only to the show, the heart of the matter is, the Green Arrow comics saw darker days than that of Batman's. Now, because of all these similarities, he was hence seen by readers and critics alike as an archery-themed version of Batman. However, later on down the road, DC used his left-wing political views to make him seem different. When you think about it, the play made by DC Comics in introducing the Green Arrow was about having a plethora of characters that they could juggle, and with those minor differences between both him and Batman, they could manage to provide something for different fans. Don't get me wrong though, that doesn't necessarily mean that the Green Arrow or Oliver Queen as a character does not stand alone to be great, and that he's written in the shadow of Batman. As similar as he might be to Batman, he has so far become different in his own way. The stories, the villains, the arcs, the bow and arrow, and the different gadgets. But still the question remains, does the Arrowverse really need a character that is similar to the Green Arrow, or does it need someone different? Someone who would give a whole new take on the whole superhero mythology, someone like, and as I mentioned when I first started, the Green Lantern. Now, if you liked what I had to present here, remember to drop me a much appreciated like, subscribe, and enable notifications while you're at it. Do make sure as well to let me know in the comments what you think of all of this. Do you think there are a lot of similarities there? Do you not see it? Do you think the introduction of Batman within the Arrowverse would be a good idea? Or would you prefer the introduction of other superheroes, ones that would be different or even better, ones that we barely ever or maybe even never got to see in live action depictions? But until I see you next time, thank you all for tuning in and have a perfect day.